Hello, my most beloved and murderous horde, and welcome back. I am your mistress of murder, and you all by now know my son Charlie. Now, my horde, I do believe that I am a tolerant, patient, and understanding mistress to you all. However, there is but one singular thing that I cannot abide by, nor tolerate in any capacity, and is guaranteed to get my blood boiling. That being misinformation. And unfortunately, I have been seeing a great deal of it as of late. Misinformation in the form of one of my favorite subjects, murder. Apparently, there are humans so ill-versed in the subject that they truly believe that there has never been a female mass shooter, or that a woman is even capable of anything horrific. Makes me feel as though I'm back in the medieval times. Let me assure you, my lovelies, that we women folk are more than capable of taking a life, or several, when the mood strikes us. So please, allow me to rectify this unspeakably ugly error made by those outside the horde. For here are not just one, but two separate lists of the most infamous female killers in history. You know the drill by now, my lovelies. Pick your poison. Sit back, relax, and let's have ourselves a little conversation. Number 1. Tashfeen Malak, San Bernardino shooter. Her kill count? 14. And those 14 people were shot dead at a San Bernardino, California office holiday party on December 2nd in 2015, when authorities say that Tashfeen Malak and her husband stormed the facility after reportedly pledging their allegiance to an ISIS leader in a Facebook post. The couple had a 6-month-old child. The FBI say Malak, a Pakistani native, had been living in Saudi Arabia when she married her husband, a U.S. citizen who was born in the state of Illinois, before moving to the U.S. the year of the shooting. Both Malak and her husband were killed in a standoff with police. Number 2. Jennifer San Marco, Goleta Post Office shooting. Her kill count? 6. On January 30th, 2006, authorities say Jennifer San Marco opened fire inside the U.S. Postal Service mail sorting center in Goleta, where she once worked, leaving 6 people dead before she finally fatally shot herself in the head. Earlier that day, police believed that San Marco, who'd been previously granted early retirement for psychological reasons, fatally shot former neighbor Beverly Graham. Investigators say that San Marco was psychologically disturbed and believed she was the target of some sort of conspiracy that was based out of the mail facility. Number 3. And possibly the most infamous on this list, Brenda Spencer, Cleveland Elementary School shooting. Her kill count? 2. Now, not only is Brenda the most infamous on this list, she is also the first school shooter in U.S. history. Brenda Spencer was just a San Diego 16-year-old girl when she walked across the street from her home to Grover Cleveland Elementary School on January 29, 1979, and began shooting at the students. 8 children were injured and 2 adults, the school's principal and custodian, were killed as they came to the aid of their students. Spencer would go on to give a reporter a bizarre answer as for why she carried out the shooting. To quote, "I don't like Mondays. This livens up the day." She eventually gave herself up to police and later pled guilty to 2 counts of murder. She remains in a Californian prison to this day. Number 4. Amy Bishop, University of Alabama shooting. Her kill count, 3. Bishop was a college professor of neuroscience with a Harvard PhD when authorities say she opened fire on fellow faculty members at the University of Alabama in Huntsville on February 20, 2010. Bizarrely, students in the class she taught leading up to the faculty meeting, where she pulled out a 9mm handgun, said that she seemed perfectly normal. Even fellow teachers in the meeting said Bishop had acted normally right up until the point she withdrew her firearm, which she then used to kill 3 and injure 3 others. The mother of 4 eventually entered a guilty plea and remains in prison to this day. Number 5. Laureen Dan, Winnetka Elementary School shooting spree. Her kill count, 1. Lori Dan was a 30-year-old divorcee in 1988 when she delivered arsenic-tainted Rice Krispie treats and juice boxes to Chicago area acquaintances, a former babysitter clients, her psychiatrist, her ex-husband, and several fraternity houses at Northwestern University. No one was ultimately fatally poisoned, but on May 20th of that year, Dan entered a Winnetka, Illinois elementary school and started shooting. She injured several children and killed an 8-year-old boy. She would later hold a family hostage for hours, shooting but not killing the family patriarch, before fatally shooting herself. Number 6. Latina Williams, Louisiana Technical College. Her kill count, 2. On February 8, 2008, 23-year-old nursing student Latina Williams opened fire in a classroom at the Louisiana Technical College in Baton Rouge. 2 women were killed. Williams then turned the gun on herself. According to a statement subsequently released by the Baton Rouge Police Department, Williams displayed signs of paranoia and losing touch with reality leading up to the shooting. Number 7. And one of my personal favorites. A 1 Sylvia Seargist. Now Sylvia actually was responsible for the Springfield, Pennsylvania mall shooting. Her kill count, 3. Sylvia targeted the Springfield Mall in Pennsylvania in October of 1985, killing 3 and injuring 7. Her weapon of choice, a Ruger 10-22. The individuals that were killed included 2 men and a 2-year-old boy. Seargist was 25 years old and had been diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia 10 years earlier. Unfortunately, at the time, the only real background check for gun ownership was to fill out a form and to check a box of whether you had been diagnosed with any mental illnesses. Sylvia lied on this application and was able to purchase the Ruger 10-22. However, there is some good that did happen from this tragedy. Her case did eventually stimulate discussion about the state's authority to commit at-risk people into mental care facilities versus individual rights. I welcome you all to join me in my next video, Part 2 of Women Who Kill. The topic, the 10 most infamous female killers in history.